Hi, everybody. This is The Bookshop Below by Georgia Summers. In London, Cassandra, a disgraced former bookseller, finds herself in a dangerous game when her former mentor is murdered and leaves her his bookshop. She knows all of the underground magical bookshops must have a bookseller, but to take this on, she must deal with a handsome man who wants this coveted spot, rival bookstore owners, and of course, the killer. As she gets embroiled, her past threatens to come to light, and a dangerous enemy threatens the secret world of magical bookshops. Georgia Summers is the author of The City of Stardust, and this book is an urban fantasy romance story. The book feels more modern metropolitan power struggle than cute, cozy London bookstore read, which I just mentioned because I feel like the cover art maybe implies it's a little bit more of a cozy read than it is. I found this book really hard to get into. There's some great things in here, but something about it all felt a little flattened and dull to me. And it felt slow and kind of lacking in urgency. The bookshop itself, Chiron's bookshop, is nice. It's hidden and can only be found by some people. It's situated over the magical river that feeds all of the hidden magical bookshops in London. And it's full of beautiful books. Who doesn't love that? I like the way that the shop seemed to have a personality of its own, and some of the ways it expressed itself was kind of cool. The way magic works in the world is never really fully explained or explored well. The author tries to kind of weave it into the story, which kind of works, but it ends up just leaving you with more questions than answers. Loosely, the shops contain powerful books that can change your life, but you have to pay with something precious to you. In one case, a firstborn child, which is very Grimm's fairy tales. Only some people can read the books, and only some people can enter the shop, or only some people can work there. But we don't know why. I don't think we really find out why that is. I'm not really sure why the shops exist, and if there are magical bookstores, are there other magical things in the world? Are there magical chess sets? Are there other magical stores? Are there other, like, why do they exist? So, yeah, I mean, some questions are answered, but one might be half answered, and you're kind of like, okay, but if that's the case, then why this, you know? Anyway, Cassandra is our lead character. She lives in modern London and therefore is depressed and needs money to pay rent. London is a hard city to live in. When she's gifted the bookstore, she's given the answer to all her problems: a free place to live, safety, meaningful work. She can never be fired from her job. And yet she doesn't feel relief or gratitude for some reason. Like she just kind of, instead she repeatedly doubts that she has the skills to be there, even though she actually grew up in that store and was trained in it. Everyone around her also doubts this. And it gets really repetitive and annoying. Like, yeah, we get it. Everyone thinks you shouldn't be here. You think you shouldn't be here. Maybe you shouldn't be here. She also used to steal books to make money. There are jobs in London. She could have just gone and got a normal job. This is something she chose to do, but she looks down on the people she sells them to. Apparently, they're the real criminals. Her criminal identity is the name Cass Holt, and her real name is Cassandra Fairfax. This name change is apparently enough to ensure that no one makes the connection that they're the same person, and she's never recognized until the plot wants her to be later in the story. I'm not sure why we're meant to care about her or I don't know what she wants or what she really needs. I just found her really hard to like as well. None of the characters came alive that much for me. There's a bookseller she hires called Byron. And the thing with Byron is that she likes the color blue. That's kind of it. Lowell Sharp is the love interest, and he's handsome and kind of high-handed with her. And that's really just because the author wants to do enemies to lovers. So he has to be kind of a jerk. But if he's a jerk, like, why do they deserve each other? Why? Roth is the big bad guy. He's bad because he comes from wealth and his father was mean. So it's just lacking nuance, depth, and then it just means everything feels fairly flat. And this is, like, personally for me, so the choice of the faintly ancient Greek motifs just felt way too obvious. Chiron's shop is over a river and kind of gives you a little clue to something towards the end. Lady Fate is involved, and she's kind of a little bit like the Three Fates in ancient Greece, but also not. And obviously Cassandra, the prophetess that no one would listen to. I mean, I think at the moment in this genre, mythology gets overused and bastardized a lot, and I don't think it's clever. I don't think it's as clever as writers seem to think it is. Um, but yeah, I get that it's popular right now, so it's fine. Like, I don't think it's harmful. It's just sort of sometimes when I see this stuff pop up, I'm like, oh my God, yes, we get it, you know? In the end, for me, it was just a joyless slog to read. I feel like I'm being really harsh on this book, but I mean, that's just how I felt. The story takes place in a magical world, but it's also modern London, and Cassandra is about as disaffected as the modern Londoner who has rent to pay. Rather than leaning into the magic and the Britishness, the way something like Harry Potter, not to kind of push the Harry Potter thing, but there was definitely kind of a joy to Harry Potter and like a Britishness. And a lot of British books are able to lean into that kind of thing and make it nice. They don't really, the idea that the bookshop is alive or that London has an invisible string of bookshops the reader is going to get to explore. I mean, that's kind of exciting, but the book doesn't go there. It just feels depressing, flat, devoid of joy. So we're not escaping into a magic world when we read this. We're spending time with a depressed, edgy, I don't know, she's like 20 or 30 or something, who is not in love with magic and just has bills to pay and cleaning to do. And we get the sense that rather than a meaningful career, a generic enemies to lovers situation will save her. And it does. This girl is not a plucky young thing with a mystery to solve or a survivor grateful to have an amazing opportunity that she's determined to make the best of, even while enemies are wanting to see her fail. Like, there's no vigor here. There's no energy. It's a lot of chores before a rushed ending, basically. Cassandra is as greige as dishwater. She just spends time moping and mopping when she could be exploring and solving. And it just makes you wonder in the end why we're here. I feel like this book had a great premise, and it does that thing that a lot of books of this genre do, in my opinion, where they have a really great premise. They're not 100% sure what to do with it. So once they get going, they kind of waffle around in the middle for a bit, and there's not enough there, and then there's just this rushed ending. Yeah, I think romantasy readers are more used to some of these tropes and problems. So no shade if this one spoke to you. It's just not for me. Yeah, I think, yeah. Anyway, I've said what I think. Thank you to Hachette Book Group Canada for the ARC of this book for review. If you've read this one, let me know what you think. I feel like it's a bit divisive. I remember when I was looking, after I finished it, I log it on Goodreads, and I noticed like a really mixed response to this one. So I'd love to know what you think if you've read it. Yeah, hopefully I'll chat with you guys in the comments, and thank you for watching.